Welcome to Bearcat Update. I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Jenny James.
Welcome back, Jenny. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Okay.
Anyway, today on the show we are bringing you your latest Bearcat sports news.
This past weekend, 19 Bearcats took the field for the last time for Senior Day. Our reporter, Juwan Bush, gets a story on what it was like to be a Bearcat football player competing on home turf. Juwan?
As the year comes to an end, so does some senior athletic careers. Graduating seniors Matt Conley and Nick Hass have made a huge impact on the football program since they stepped on campus. But sadly, it's all coming to an end.
I can't imagine a day where I don't get to come to work, and practice with those guys and prepare with those guys, blood, sweat, and tears with those guys. And so every day is just kind of magnified, you have to work harder, I think we're only guaranteed 3 more practices as a senior class. And I'm not ready to move on into the rest of my life.
Graduating for these guys means walking off the field with some of the guys they walked on the field for the first time with.
Man, it's awesome to see these guys, just succeed on and off the field, because those kids we came up with, that class that we originally came in with, we're our biggest supporters. Obviously we support the rest of the team, but if you really look at the core of our team, we're really just supporting, like, that senior class is really just supportive of each other. We're the happiest when we're succeeding. We're the we're there for each other when we aren't succeeding. We're just trying to help each other along the way.
For a lot of these seniors, they started here at Northwest and finished here, meaning they were able to grow within these 4 years into someone totally different from when they came in.
Oh, it's crazy. I wrote down on a piece of paper all the goals I wanted to accomplish, and then just a couple days ago, I found it, in my dresser drawer, and I looked, and all of them I've either accomplished or they're still available for me to accomplish, which I think is really cool. I would tell my younger self just to keep working hard.
The seniors have one more regular season game against UCM at UCM. And for Bearcat Update, I'm Juwan Bush.
Thanks, Juwan. Fort Hays State came to town for Senior Day on Saturday, and we were there to get the highlights. Defense was the name of the game for both teams, with neither offense showing up. The Bearcat defense struck first with an interception by Trent Nally off a deflected pass into his hands. The interceptions continue as cornerback Jack Richards has the ball thrown directly to him, leading to a decent return by the Bearcats. Then the Northwest special teams adds to the mix with a 56-yard punt return by the speedster Sean Bain Jr. Finally, the Bearcat offense gets on the board behind a 19-yard connection between Braden Wright and Alec Tatum for the touchdown. Despite 3 interceptions by the Bearcat defense, Northwest falls short, losing to the Tigers 17-16. We sit right up there at the top of the conference with Fort Hays State, both with 8-2 records, Central Oklahoma and Pitt State not too far behind.
We are keeping an eye on the regional rankings as Division II football is finishing up regular season play. Our BCU analyst John Walker takes a look at Northwest Super Region 3. We send it over to you, John.
Now the football team was set for a primetime matchup with Fort Hays State in the MIAA Game of the Week. This was a rematch of last year's Senior Day when the Tigers beat the Bearcats 12-13 in Bearcat Stadium. Fast forward 364 days later, it's the exact same scenario with an MIAA Conference Championship on the line. The Bearcats' 16-17 loss puts things in a little bit of a shake-up in the Super Region 3. Heading into the game, the Bearcats were sitting at 4th. Fort Hays State was sitting at 7th. The top 3 teams should stay the same after this weekend, however, with Ferris State, Ouachita Baptist, and Grand Valley State all winning their games. If you start to look at these 4 to 7 spots, that's where things are going to get a little murky in this last week of the season, with only the top 7 teams getting in. The 1 seed Ferris State right now would have a first-round bye. With Southern Arkansas, U of I, and Pitt State losing, it guarantees Northwest right now to be in the top 7, even with the loss to Fort Hays. So things are looking right now like they should shape up. Ferris State, Ouachita Baptist, Grand Valley State, and then I wouldn't be surprised if Fort Hays State takes the jump to 4, Northwest falls to 5, or they could drop back to 6th. I don't really see them dropping any farther than that, however, with the other teams losing. Make sure to follow my Twitter for the latest updates concerning the Bearcats as they go further into the season. It's pretty simple for Rich Wright and his squad this week against the Mules. Win, and you're in. At this murky area, you could lose, and they might be on the outside looking in, hoping for some of these other teams to make some mistakes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, John. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We have a special guest coming up next. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT Channel 8.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. The Northwest volleyball team is heading into the conference tournament. Northwest comes in at number 4 and will be taking on number 5 in conference, Central Missouri. Northwest leads the conference in hitting percentage, kills, and assists.
Senior Sophia Schleppenbach, Texas native, leads the conference in hitting percentage with over 350 and is in the top 20 for kills per set, blocks, and service aces.
Today on Bearcat Boulevard, we are joined by Sophia. Sophia, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I know Saturday's game against Kearney probably wasn't the outcome you guys were hoping for, but what were some maybe takeaways that you had to move forward into the tournament?
I think it really gave us motivation to not only take this first set that we have on Tuesday against UCM, but then also to potentially see Kearney again later in the conference tournament and kind of learn from what we didn't do in the first game and continue doing what we did do last night. So.
And you guys clinched the number 4 seed in the conference, and also you guys are tied with UCM 1-1. How are you going to prepare for that? It's a home game, so.
As disappointing as the one loss that we had to them at their home was, I think it really gave us perspective that they're a competitive team that, if they want to compete with us, they can. And if we're not completely ready for them, then there's, it can really go either way. But I think it really helped us learn the focus that we need and what we need to do against them. And so I think we're just really excited to kind of redeem ourselves and show that we can do what we did the first time.
How beneficial is it to have that home court advantage, especially in the tournament against UCM, which can be a really tough team?
I think it's huge just because, like I mentioned, how we beat them at home the first time and then lost to them at their home. And just the fact that this is the first time I think ever that we're playing at home and hosting this first round at home, it's just going to be a huge advantage for us because we're really excited and we're really proud of what we've been able to accomplish this year and then also the past years that have led up to this.
And this is your senior year. How excited is it?
It's incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better senior year. I feel like just starting from freshman year each year has been sort of a build up to this. Like each year we've progressively gotten farther and farther. And I think that myself and the other seniors included are just really excited to finish our last season in this way with the confidence that we can go all the way and win this conference tournament.
Being from Texas, we were talking earlier, what kind of brought you up to Maryville, like the tundra of Missouri?
Well, I knew that I wanted to kind of get out of Dallas and out of the city and just explore something different that I haven't, seen before or been a part of before. And I knew that it would be a good decision because I was not only far from home and in a new experience and would be able to have different opportunities, but I was also still close to family as far as having family in Lincoln, and my sister went to Nebraska, so I knew that if I needed, family close by, I had that, but I also got to experience something completely different.
Well, Sophia, thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you the best luck against UCM coming up.
Thank you very much.
Stick around. We are going to take a quick break on Bearcat Update, KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. Our volleyball team closed their regular season play on the road this past weekend. On Friday, they took on Fort Hays and swept the Tigers in 3 easy sets.
Saturday was a different story in Kearney, Nebraska. After taking set 1, the girls couldn't hang on in a competitive match, dropping to the 3rd nationally ranked Lopers in 5 close sets.
Up next for the Cats is the conference tournament. Tuesday, they host Central Missouri at 7 in Bearcat Arena. Last time they met, they lost the match 1-3 in Warrensburg. Let's hope the home atmosphere can move them forward in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. The cross-country team competed in their conference meet in Emporia, Kansas this weekend. Maria Mostek led the girls and finished 15th. Kareem led the men with a 2nd-place finish. We caught up with him before the race.
I think they're going to do well because we run at the same field of when it's going to be host conference. So I think they already know the field, and that's going to be a good advantage for us. I think they are going to do better than how we ran 1 week ago.
The MIAA Championship prepares Bearcats for regionals in Joplin, Missouri on the 17th.
The Northwest men's basketball team headed down to St. Joe, Missouri to play the 2018 National Championship team competitors.
Opening their season, they played a close game with Northern State. Let's check out the highlights. Number 5 ranked Northwest taking on Northern State to start their season in the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame tournament. Kirk Fenley scoring early, Bearcats behind 5-8. Next possession, starting freshman Trevor Hudgens driving it close into the Wolves, lead 8-7. Later on, Diego Bernard scoring his first collegiate points, Bearcats behind 28-32. Second half, Northern State's Parker Fox scoring, tying it up at 51. Bearcats have it back, Hudgens driving into the lane, again tying the game up 60 with 25 seconds left to play, and we will go into overtime. With this, passes it to Ryan Hawkins with the dunk. Bearcats win 72-70 in the season opener. Coach Ben McCullum is eager to start the season, but doesn't know what to expect from such a young team.
I feel like we're a work in progress. We're young. We're extremely fun to be around. We play hard. We're on the edge of greatness and also on the other edge of absolute disaster. So we just play hard, we just play with our emotions, and it's just the youth, it's just what youth does. There'll be games where it'll be like, oh my gosh, these guys are unreal. And then there'll be games where it's like, what just happened? So it's just a work in progress when you have younger kids.
Their next game is this Friday, taking on Upper Iowa back down in St. Joe. There's a lot going on this week. Let's take a look at our top picks.
The volleyball team has been highly competitive this season, and I can't wait to see how they perform in conference tournament, especially knowing that they're 1-1 with Central Missouri, and it's going to be a home game. It's
going to be a good one for sure. After another emotional Fort Hays loss, the football team will be hungry for another win to close their regular season. They head down to Warrensburg on Saturday, and they are competing for a share of the MIAA title. Everything is all up in the air now, but we will see how they will finish.
Yeah. That's all we have for you this week. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Bearcat Update. You can follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8.
Or watch all of our previous episodes on YouTube at KNWT8. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Bearcat Update.
You can find last week's episode up here or all of our previous episodes down here. Check it out.